The energy is wild, and so my emotions have been up and down. Yours might be the same. I want to remind people in Florida, in the danger zone, the roads are still totally open and clear. If you decide you want to get out of Dodge at the last minute, if that's what your intuition tells you to do, I highly recommend it. Please remember to bring your family, your friends, and your pets, and maybe even grab a poor friend who couldn't get out on his own because he couldn't afford it. I'll be doing hourly or bi-hourly updates as long as I can stay awake, though I can't usually sleep during hurricanes, but we will see. So here's your rundown at 8:47 p.m. Texas time. Philip Babin, a really remarkable amount of inner core lightning in Michael tonight. Despite not having a closed eye wall, intensification likely to continue if strongest convection continues to fire within the RMW. And so, yeah, it's apparently the lightning inside of a storm represents rapid intensification. So it is still rapidly intensifying. I am guessing it is definitely already a Category 4 storm right now. These things like to fall apart some and weaken before landfall. Michael, however, hasn't gotten the memo. It's still strengthening this evening as it heads towards the Florida Panhandle. Tonight, if you are in Florida, might be a great time to watch Forrest Gump. Get your Lieutenant Dan fist shaking out of the way, because I love you and I want you to survive this storm. What a beast. Yes, this thing is a monster. It's already causing pretty large waves and some flooding in areas that are 300 miles away from it. Jack Sillen, who's always chilling, except for tonight, he's a little worried and concerned, just like all of us. No matter what you're interested in, meteorology-wise, there's something on offer in the U.S. tonight. Textbook mid-latitude cyclone, severe weather outbreak, snow, major hurricane, record heat, record cold, covered all the bases. Weather is dangerous at times, but incredible too. And on the 26th of September, I did a full alert. We are all on high alert for volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, and wild weather, starting on the 26th, going all the way through October. And so this pattern that we're watching now, which is incredible, doesn't really surprise me. So yeah, we got snow through here. You got over 12 tornadoes rip up through this line today. You got a hurricane. You got another hurricane here. And then you got this secondary moisture. Wasn't really showing up in the models, but it's here now. So I don't know how everybody handles stress and pressure. But do your best to be kind. But even the last week, I've been an asshole once or twice. I just kind of freak out. So let's all take turns to freak out and then try and be strong for the people when they're freaking out if we can. Northeast Weather Headquarters, where HWRF model shows Michael going. The Northeast will feel some impacts from the remnants Thursday and Friday. Yeah, the storm is riding up almost the entire coast at either hurricane strength or tropical storm strength. As Cranky Weather Guy had pointed out, that a lot of the trees in Florida and up in Georgia and Carolina, the ground has been saturated from Hurricane Florence and the storms there. So there's going to be a lot of tree knocking down, which will lead to more power outages. So there will be more trees knocked down than usual. And I have a saying at THORNEWS, when the sun acts weird, Earth weather acts weird, and people act weird. And yep, the sun's been acting weird. We've been getting hit by a solar wind stream. And that's how I make most of my predictions in weather, because I predict off of the sun. And when the sun acts weird, the weather acts weird. And so, you know, the sun has definitely been acting weird. And a lot of people, you know, the people who are like carbon, or even the people who are like weather warfare. It's like, man, I don't think the carbon or the weather warfare is going to make like looks like a planetary system on an ecliptic here. See that? And technically, I called my weird weather watch off of the sun and the Eris alignment, which happens around the 17th. So I think the weird weather should peak on the 17th, so that's kind of good news, I guess. Okay, but, you know, it's up to you to make your own, do your research, and then make your own decisions on what you believe is causing all the weird weather. Okay? Greg Postal, the latest recon suggests surface winds in extremely dangerous Hurricane Michael are 125 miles to 130 miles an hour. Although at the top, they saw it at 144 miles an hour. With its pressure dropping and the satellite presentation improving, Michael may be on its way to Cat 4, if not there already. Yeah, it's a big, nasty storm. Remy Mermelstein from Weather in the HUD. Michael expanding in the last several hours. Not very good. Pinhole eye. Most of the convention displaced on the northwest of the eye. The weather matrix. Jesse. Hurricane Michael is still trying to strengthen, showing a lot of lightning in the core. So yeah, it's still strengthening, for sure. Substantial coastal flooding in Delacambre this evening, captured by Yves Dworski. It doesn't take a landfalling storm to cause issues on Louisiana's coastline. This thing is going to affect, I think, the entire coast by the time it's done. And the eye is here, and so I would guess you're maybe 5-6 hours away from the rain bands training over the coasts. And I think the rainfall estimates for this thing are way, way, way low. Brian Tang, the GOES 16 GLM is detecting quite a bit of lightning flashes in the eye, indicating strong updrafts, especially on the downshear left sides. Must be quite a bumpy ride for the people who are flying through these things. And here is the scary statement that I will probably put in the title. Scary statement from the National Weather Service in Tallahassee. Locations may be uninhabitable for weeks or months. So, I remind you, the highways are open. If you can afford it, I don't know why you would take a chance. And I would ask that you bring a friend who's poor, like me, because I'm a YouTube channel and I try and help everybody out all the time. I'm always broke and can always just afford the minimum things. The only pleasure in life is cigarettes, and I'm just light one right now. Smoke them if you got them. Scary statement from the NWS in Tallahassee. Locations may be uninhabitable for weeks or months. A statement by the NWS in Tallahassee. So, it's a serious, serious situation. I live in Houston, and I've traveled places, and that, coastal people like to be like, you know what, we've been through hurricanes before. We think we know what we're doing, buddy. And, man, I have been doing nothing but weather the last 2 years in the sun, and I've been covering weather for almost 6 years now. Everything's changed. Everything's different. Everything is more extreme. Did you not see the thing where we have like everything in weather possible happening right now, as I predicted 2 months ago, because of the sun and possibly Eris. All right, Kick, this cranky weather guy, king of weather Twitter. Kick to turn. The cyclone is coming. Can see west flattening anew. Between the west side and the kick, the atmosphere is starting to buckle. So expect some turning soon. Perhaps some oddball eye movement. The eye isn't centrally located. Try not to make much of the lurches. And we'll be watching its path all night long. And so, Hurricane Michael is in beast mode. A Category 5 can't be ruled out. As I made a video earlier today saying Category 5 is possible, we now have the pros starting to say it as well. And that's what I'm saying, is even if it drops to a 1 millibar an hour with about 17 hours left to landfall, you're going to be at about a 929 hurricane, which would be a top level Cat 4, only 9 millibars away from a Cat 5. So, 140 mile per hour winds, possible 170, 80 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. And so, wait. He's deploying him. I got him already following him. Okay, so he's deploying him. And so please remember, if you do decide to evacuate, or no matter what, make sure your animals are in the clear and you take them with you, because animals are amazing. A lot of times better than humans. Speaking of that, I'm going to finish cleaning my apartment and get a kitten, I think. We'll end it with Jack Sillin. Nothing short of crazy to be able to watch a hurricane intensify minute by minute on satellite imagery. Sadly, this is not a good sign for those in the path. I know I'm not the only one looking at these loops, with a pit in my stomach knowing what's to come in the path parts of Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. So, you know, I can't recommend enough. If you got the means and you've been waiting, you know, I would not wait the storm out. I know a lot of you guys that are going to be there in the storm. I'll be here for you. I will be saying prayer for you. Singing always helps, I found. And you will make it. You'll make it through. But hopefully we'll all learn from this, and we will finally start to come together as one American family, because the weather's only going to get wilder. And the media and the government are only going to do what they can to distract you. So by coming together as a people, that is our only chance. Love you guys. Please stay cool. And I will keep you updated.